So the OnePlus 3 comes with a 16 megapixel rear camera and an 8 megapixel front facing camera. In this video, we're going to see how well these cameras actually function, take photos, the quality, and what we can expect from the OnePlus 3. So before we do anything else, let's take a look at the camera software that's on board the OnePlus 3. Now, I have to say I'm really quite impressed with how simple and easy the software is to use. Top left-hand corner gives you a quick jump to your camera settings there. You can see the manual focus all the way to time-lapse. The manual options for photos, you can go ahead and customize your shooting experience. So you can change things like your ISO, of course your white balance, your aperture, of course your exposure, and even manual focus. So that is really nice. That gives you a lot of flexibility as a shooter in terms of photos. Now this option is not available for video, so that is not there with video with the OnePlus 3, but still is a nice option altogether. Now you can go in and also change your image size, so it can be 16:9, 4:3, so on and so forth, which is also pretty nice that it's actually available. You can set up a timer, put up a grid. All the things are there for you while using the OnePlus 3. Now, video capture is 4K. You can do 4K video. There is no 1080p 60 frames per second, but it does 720 all the way to 4K for the rear camera. And you can also set up a grid for that if you choose to. The front-facing camera is 8 megapixels, and you can record video with that at 1080p, and you can also take photos. Now we're going to give you a sample of course, the rear camera at 4K, so you guys can take a listen to it and also see the kind of quality you get from the OnePlus 3. So I'm recording here with the OnePlus 3. And one thing you can do is, of course, tap on the screen and change the exposure. So you can see it was darker, and now I have a brighter exposure here. I can tap on it again. Let me just set that to where I want to and do that. So I'm recording 4K. It's got built-in OIS. The one thing about the exposure is that you have to actually leave your finger on screen to keep it there, because if not, it changes the exposure. So I'm going to walk down, and you can see my finger's still on screen, which is why the exposure still stays. Now, as I take my finger off, I'm going to now start panning around here. Just give you a nice central look. I'm in Brooklyn, and then over this way, of course, is New York City. So you get idea of audio capture from the camera as well as video capture from the camera. And we're going to go into a brighter area and give you some flowers down here, so you guys can see that, and you see how well it picks the flowers up. I'm going to zoom in there. Of course, you can pinch and zoom. There's a slider that pops up, and you can get a closer look at the objects in there. And you can also just move around and look around with this camera. So that gives you a good idea of what this does. So let's go ahead and wrap this up, show you some photos, some images, and finish this video. Oh, you can also take images while, of course, recording video. Now moving on to photos, front-facing camera does a good job. 8 megapixels does capture a lot, and you can see different selfies here, a couple with friends. It does a really good job with selfies. You can take wide angle, so you can capture a lot of people. I like the front-facing camera of the OnePlus 3. Now the rear camera, 60 megapixels. In daylight, it does a good job. Saturation can be a little bit of a problem, but overall, I will say when you're shooting in daylight, this camera is suitable, will handle things well enough. As you can see, different times of the day. This is around 7 p.m. This here is actually around noontime, but you can see how it still captures the shade and lighting pretty well. Now, when we move over, of course, to taking photos at night, you can see this is where the camera just doesn't do very well. You can see a lot of pixelation, and even with flash, the flash kind of is balanced off center, so one side of this image is darker than the other. Now, of course, when it comes to low light, the camera is just not that good. It doesn't do well even with HDR on, as you can see here, and with the next photo with HDR-A and HDR, it still doesn't do that great of a job. Now, to summarize the OnePlus 3 camera, I would say that the The OnePlus 3 camera is okay. It's not fantastic. It's okay. It's a good daylight shooter, but doesn't do a good job, of course, in low light situations or even with the flash on. So nighttime photography is not the best suit for this. This is something that OnePlus probably didn't focus too much on and went with something standard for their use. HDR does not do a good job. It seems like it has some issues. And 4K capture or video capture, you can see the wobbly nature of OIS there. Not suitable, not the best quality. So I would say for me, the OnePlus 3 camera is okay at best. I'll put it that way. So anyway, guys, any thoughts or comments about this, let us know. Don't forget to like and share this video, favorite this video, subscribe to the channel, and always enjoy your entertainment.